Today, I'm giving you 3 secrets for dressing in transitional weather. You're gonna wanna stick around for the last one because it's got a golden nugget of information in there that is really often overlooked. You need this tip. These are secrets I use every day, like today, because it is beautiful and 83 outside right now, but when I went for breakfast this morning, it was 65. Tip number 1, know your comfort zone. Tip number 1 is all about knowing your thresholds. What temperature zones are you comfortable in? And I don't mean I'm cold when it's cold and hot when it's hot. You want specific temperature degree numbers for when your body goes, oh, it's too darn hot, and oh God, I'm so cold. Make sure you monitor yourself throughout the day for a while, especially during this time of year, and notice when you feel chilly, check the temperature and see what range it's in. When you feel warm again later in that day, check the temperature and see where you've hit. It's important to have numbers to follow so that when you check the weather, you have an idea of what your body feels in that temperature zone. Are you a cold at 70 person or a cold at 50 person? Everybody's body has different tolerances for what they think is cold. I spent a number of years living in Florida, and it seems like my body adjusted, and now once it hits roughly 73, I am freezing. Like, I need a blanket because it's too cold. Now, maybe you're an Elsa type. The cold never bothered me anyway. And so you're like, 70, what's that? It's nothing, I'm fine. In this case, you're going to have very different needs in a day like today, where it ranged from 64 to 83 than someone like myself would. So secret number 1, know your body's thresholds. Secret number 2, know your enemy. Who is our enemy? Our enemy is Mother Nature. By know your enemy, what I mean is make sure you know your environment. Know what it is that you have to work with for temperature. You want to check each day that's upcoming and see the forecast and know if the outfit you've planned, which I've talked about this in a lot of other videos, is planning your outfits. You want to know that the outfits you have planned are still applicable for that day. So when you get up, check the range. It'll give you the hourly and see at what point in the day does it get warm. Is it only going to be a cool temperature for a little bit, and by 10 o'clock it's going to be in that warm zone where your body is fine? Or is it going to be in your body's cool zone for a majority of the day, only in the warm zone for a couple of hours in the afternoon, and then back into that cold zone? That's what you need to know, which is why secret number 1 is so important, because if you don't know where your body is comfortable in what temperature zones, then you aren't going to know when you check for secret number 2, how to apply secret number 3. With secret number 1, you know your thresholds. With secret number 2, you know your enemy, i.e. the environment. For secret number 3, you need to know your layers. Now, dressing in layers is a given. That is like a generic fact. Here's this golden nugget that I mentioned. The golden nugget that people discount is the weight of the layers. You have to know how heavy the layers are and how they breathe. So in order to apply secret number 3, you have to know secret number 2 and secret number 1. They all work together. You can't use one without the others. Because one of these things is just like the others. They're all best friends. Know your layers. What do I mean by know your layers? First and foremost, you want something that's going to cover all the skin and still breathe. So when you're in those cool zones that your body finds uncomfortable and chilly, you have something that's covering your skin and protecting it from the outside. When you are in those warm zones, you want to be able to remove extra pieces and still feel comfortable even if you're covered. So my number 1 go-to piece for this function is a lightweight maxi dress. This is one of my favorite lightweight maxi dresses. It covers most of my body. As you can see, there are no sleeves. The back here is a real thin chiffon, so totally breathable. And the cotton all the way down is real thin. So still we're gonna get some airflow through the fabric if the wind starts blowing, but also if the wind is not blowing, because it's loose and open at the bottom, there's plenty of space for the air to just come right up in there and vent all the heat that's being trapped by the body under the dress. If dresses aren't your thing, go for a jumpsuit like this that's thin. This is just a cotton jumpsuit, but you've got pants, and it's still gonna breathe because the legs are wide, which is our other option. If you're not into a one-piece thing, get wide leg pants. This one here that I'm using as an example is a real thin chiffon-like fabric. So again, just like the dress, the back of that dress, it's gonna breathe real easily, but also the silhouette is loose and flowy, so it's going to allow for air to flow up and into the pant leg and keep you cool that way as well. If this is too thin, and it's depending on your season and your body's zones, then something a little heavier like this, which is a bit more of a cotton, it's still wide leg. Get it all the way up there, there's a leg. It's still wide legged. So it allows for that air to flow up from underneath and keep you cool, but still keeps your body covered in those colder times of the day. Now I know you're asking, yo, what about the top half? In the top half, you want to know how heavy your layer is. An ideal piece of clothing for your top half is gonna be like this tee here. It's gonna have panels in it that are thin. This is a lace and it's breathable. So it's going to allow for air to flow and hit the skin, but also the cotton is keeping you covered for those times when it's cooler in the day. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want something like this, which is super thin. You can see the hanger right through it here. And why you don't want that is because it's so thin. It sounds like a great idea, but unless you're the style where you see the bra through the shirt, you're going to immediately want to put something underneath that as another layer to cover your bra so that you can't see that through it. And then you're only trapping more heat against your body and not allowing things to breathe. Don't choose the lightest layer for your base that you can see right through. You want something that's a little thicker but still has breathable areas. On top of that, you're going to want to go back to secrets 1 and 2, refer to what your environment is giving you that day, and you also want to refer to your body's comfort zones in relation to what the environment is giving you that day. So if you know that the majority of the day is going to be in your warm comfort zone and not in your cool discomfort zone, then a lightweight sweater, cardigan like this that you can pop on and off is the best choice for you. You can also look into something that's a very lightweight jacket. This is like a thin nylon jacket, and when it's a little cooler out, if wind hits it for me, I can feel that, and it keeps me protected so I'm not like, ooh, cold, but it still keeps me warm enough, and then later in the day when it gets too warm for me, I can remove it. If I need to, I can keep it on if I want, that coverage, depending on what I'm wearing. Another great piece that I kind of feel like everyone needs in some form or another is a denim jacket, because denim can be heavyweight. This one here is my oversized best friend, and so that allows for air to flow in and out because it's not like super fitted. I do have another fitted one, but and that may be your style. It depends on what your aesthetics are. But in this particular case, this is a good option because it's loose and it allows for air to flow in and out if you get warm, but still it's going to cover you and keep you toasty when you need it. Okay, I know, you're saying, yo, I don't like to wear jackets. I don't even own cardigan sweaters. I like sweaters or not. If you don't want to layer up and you know that it's mostly your warm zone and a little cool in some part of the day, I recommend a long sleeve lightweight shirt because you can roll up the sleeves. It's not going to overheat you. It's still going to breathe, but you're still going to be comfortable in those transitional temperatures. Those are your 3 secrets to dressing for transitional seasons. Number 1, know your temperatures. Number 2, know your enemy. And number 3, layer up. But know the weight of your layers. That's the secret sauce to making the layers work for you. If you like this and you need more tips for transitional season dressing and all style tips so that you can save time and look stylish, follow me for more, and I will see you around the feed.